So remember when I said I was gonna not read Royal Assassin and not worry about finishing it before the end of the month? I lied. I busted through the last like 40% of this yesterday because it just completely gripped me and I had to know what was happening. So, for anyone who is maybe struggling with the pacing of this, I understand that there's a slow build, but I think it's all worth it. And I think that if you're enjoying the writing style, just push through it because this was incredible. One of my favorite things about the book, which is kind of a frustrating thing about the book, is Fitz is what, like 18, 19 years old. And so he behaves like an 18 or 19-year-old. He thinks he knows everything. He's very indignant in what he wants, and he's a little bit more selfish than he has, which I think makes a lot of sense for his character development. He's someone who was, you know, given up as a bastard and raised by someone else who had very strong ideas for who he should be and how he should act. And then he was immediately taken up into apprenticeship by the king and Chade. And so it makes sense that, especially after the end of Assassin's Apprentice, that he's like frustrated by it all. But we're also seeing him go from a boy into a young man as he investigates his feelings with Molly, his childhood friend. And so while he has a lot of blind spots and he makes a lot of mistakes and he's not aware of everything going around, instead of those things feeling like plot holes, like things that Hobb didn't think about when she was sort of building the main tension, it makes sense that Fitz doesn't know what's going on because he's extremely naive still, even though he thinks he's not. And so that, and finally meeting Night Eyes, who I have heard rumblings about in the community, made for just a really satisfying reading experience. And I can't wait to dive into Assassin's Quest this week. I already started it. Yeah, I loved it. It was really, really good.